Okay, this one actually makes me very angry. There is this book called How to Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. It's a pretty good book. I like it. And in fact, it is so good that it has been translated to many other languages, including Spanish. So when I first heard about it, it was with the name Cómo matar a un ruiseñor. And I didn't even know what a ruiseñor was. And so I looked it up, and apparently it is a kind of bird that lives in Europe. And I was confused because I knew that Harper Lee was from the United States. So I was confused as to why she was talking about a kind of bird that lives in Europe. So I bought the book, I started reading it, and when they get to the part of the mockingbirds, the protagonist, Scout, is told by her father to never kill a mockingbird because mockingbirds the only thing they do is create beautiful music for everyone to hear. And so killing a mockingbird is like a metaphor for destroying beautiful things. And anyway, but I was still very confused because, okay, but there are no mockingbirds in the United States. I checked, they only live in Europe. And that's when I found out the truth. And this blew my mind. The translation of mockingbird is not ruiseñor. This is not the kind of bird that the word mockingbird refers to. The translation of the word mockingbird to Spanish is sensontle. Now that's a word I know because there are sensontles all over the place where I live. I hear them every morning. Whenever I go walk around, there are sensontles around. You can hear them, and if you look for them, you can find them in the trees. And not just that, but sensontles are important for Mexican culture specifically because, well, they were very important in Aztec culture because their music was considered universally beautiful. And in fact, there is this very famous poem by an ancient Aztec king called Netzahualcoyotl. And it is a poem that most Mexicans know. It's even written in the 100 peso bill. And it goes something like this. I'm translating the poem to English. I love the song of the mockingbird, bird of 400 voices. I love the color of jade and the nerving perfume of the flowers, but I love more my brother, humankind. It is a beautiful poem about the beauty of nature and about the importance of loving and respecting our fellow humans. And this is why I'm very angry. The fact that for a long time I didn't know that Harper Lee and Netzahualcoyotl were talking about the same kind of bird that was stolen from me for a long time. It is a beautiful connection between just this writer from the United States and this ancient Aztec king. They both agree that you shouldn't kill a mockingbird. It is a very cool connection, and yet not many people know it because the name of the book is still being translated to Spanish as Cómo matar a un ruiseñor. Now, why was it translated like that in the first place? Well, because probably it was translated by a Spanish translator who didn't know what a sensontle was. And so he just thought, oh well, like what kind of bird is known for making many different sounds and beautiful songs? And the sort of equivalent of a sensontle in Europe would be a ruiseñor. And like, Spanish translators do that all the time. They take things and they just translate them to what we would be familiar for European people. But they didn't consider that sensontle would be a lot more understandable for the people who do speak Spanish in Latin America. And if readers in Europe didn't know what a sensontle was, they could have looked it up. It makes me so angry. The name of the book should be retranslated, and everyone in the Spanish-speaking world should know that the name of this book in Spanish is Cómo matar a un sensontle. That's the real translation, and it makes me so angry. That's like imperialism in translations. That's like colonialism in translations. It's so angry. Everyone should know that a mockingbird is sensontle. Makes me very angry. It's like when will we get rid of imperialism and colonialism, even in translations? It's like, okay, and perhaps you're thinking, it doesn't really matter. It's a very tiny thing. Yeah, perhaps you are right. But for some reason, knowing that Netzahualcoyotl and Harper Lee were talking about the same kind of bird was really nice to me. And I think it would be really nice for many other people. And the fact that poorly made translations, influenced by colonialist and imperialist ideas, are stopping people from noticing this, I don't know, it doesn't seem like such a small thing for me.